Hey, what is going on everybody? Josh Quinones here, and today I am going to show you how to create YouTube thumbnails just using your smartphone. You know, there's a lot of people out there that think that you need a laptop or computer in order to be able to do something like this, to create good thumbnails for your YouTube videos, but you really don't. All you need is a smartphone and you can make thumbnails that actually look really good. You know, every thumbnail that you guys see on this channel has actually been made on a smartphone. All these thumbnails you see here, they were all made on whatever smartphone it was that I had at that moment. And not only that, but when I used to vlog, I was able to get even more creative and make thumbnails like this, like this, like this, like this. As you can see, it does take a little bit more work to make these thumbnails right here. As you can see, I was able to change the color of the background, add text, little ghost faces. Our bodies I actually added in a little bit later after I took the picture of this burning building right here. So there's actually a lot that you can do on your smartphone when it comes to making thumbnails. Now, the two apps that I do use to make my thumbnails are Pixel Lab and PixArt. These are really the two only apps that I use to make my thumbnails. And I went ahead and took a picture of something that we can use as our demonstration for the thumbnail. And I went ahead and took a picture of this little Flash doll that I got here. Now, this is the original picture here. Now, as you can see, the aspect ratio is different. I went ahead and cut it down. All I did was use the actual editing app within the phone. Just change the aspect ratio to 16:9. You always want to have it 16:9 because that's what YouTube does allow. Now, it does look a little bit small here in the middle. I want to make it look a little bit bigger just so it's easier to see what we want the main focus of the thumbnail to be, which is the flash. So I went ahead and zoomed in there. I'm going to go ahead and save that. And as you can see, it changes the aspect ratio. Then we are going to go ahead and work with this. So this is basically all I need to do at this point within the phone editor. So what I'm going to do is go back, go into one of my apps. Now, Pixel Lab is more for if you want to add text or shapes to your thumbnail. And PixArt is really what I use to add all the effects, make cuts, edits, and all stuff like that. So what we want to do is once we go into the app, press the little plus sign down here. Now, it is a free app, and there is also a paid version as well if you want to get rid of the ads and add more effects. But for right now, we are just going to use the free mode. So I'm going to go ahead and pick the picture that we just edited right now. Let me go ahead and skip this. And there it is. So the first thing that I usually do once my picture comes up is I will go into effects. Now, I usually like to add a little bit HDR. That is just me. You do not have to do this, but I usually like just to add a little bit. As you can see there, you can add a lot, but I will just add a little bit right there. Press the check mark, and there you go. Just adds a little bit more detail in there. Now, next, what I want to do is change the color of the whole background, but I want to leave my hand and the flash the same. So what I do here within this app is I actually cut out the whatever it is that I want to keep the same, and then this will all erase. And then it'll just leave this little middle part here that I want that we can add later after we change the color of the background. Now, in order to do that, you see down here, it says cutout. So we can go ahead and press that. Now, the one big reason I love this Note device is because it has the S Pen, which I use all the time when editing videos. It just makes it so much easier to be able to cut out whatever it is I want to cut out. So I get it right on the edge of where I want it like that. And you see there, it just makes it so much easier. But for those of us that don't have a Note device and don't have the S Pen, we can also grab any pen that has this kind of rubberish tip at the end, and it has the same effect. You can do the same thing, and you can basically find these anywhere, at any store. They will most likely have them. So there you go. All you got to do is go around the outside edges of the item that you want cut out. Press the little arrow up here. And as you can see there, it outlines everything that it is going to cut out for you. And then once you got all that, all you do is press save. And then it saves this sticker. It saves it as a sticker for you. So what you want to do is press the arrow, click on gallery. It'll save it to your gallery. We'll go ahead and go back into the app, discard. Okay, and let's go back to the original one that we were working at. Boom, right there. Okay, so when we get here, if we want to change the background of the thumbnail, go back into effects. Now, let's go ahead and add a little bit of blur before we do that. So we can hit blur, Not too much. You can change it just by moving the fade back and forth as you see there. So let's do it to right about there. That looks good for me. And you can also add more blur like this. You can change the effect of the blur on your thumbnail. So we'll go ahead and keep it about right there. Go ahead and press the check mark and it will save that. Now I want to change the color of the background. So let's go over here and on the bottom, go all the way to the right and colors. And then you can do a color splash. You can do color replace, colorize. You can change the hue of it. You can also do black and white, negative, solarization, invert, saturation. There's a lot that you can do. Let's go ahead and make it a little bit brighter. I actually like a little bit of brightness. Do that. And then we'll go back in and then we will change the actual color of it. Colors, colorize. Now let's go ahead and make it a little, let's see. We're dealing with the flash here, so let's go a little bit red like that. Press the check mark and boom. So we got the whole background color change. Now what I want to do from here is go ahead and add my picture. Now if you notice in this thumbnail right here really quick, there is an outline around our bodies. Same as this thumbnail right here, I was able to outline the bodies. Now I noticed there's a lot of people that like to make their thumbnails like that, outlining the body. Well, you can also do that on this app. And the way I do it is, what I will do is actually make the outline before I add my image back. So I will go over to draw, and then you can pick any color that you want as your background. Let's go ahead and do white. Press the check mark, and then that's when our little pen can come in, or you can also use your finger. So what I'll do is first change the effect that I want. It's currently on that effect, and there's tons that you can choose from, but let's go ahead and go with this one right here. You can change the size of it. You can change the opacity if you want more or less to show. Let's go ahead and leave it right about there set, and then I will go ahead and trace around my existing thumbnail. Okay, so I got that traced around. Let's go ahead and press the check mark. And then what we want to do is add our sticker that we made. And all we got to do is go to add photo. Once we go there, you can see the sticker that we made right here. Press add. And then it'll pop up right here, dead center of the thumbnail. And then we just got to enlarge it a little bit and try to fit it in right where we want it to fit right into the little outline that we made there, just a little bit smaller, and boom, there it is. You got the little outline going around your thumbnail. Now, if you don't want it like that, because it does look a little messy, let's go ahead and discard that. Let's undo this. What we can do is first add the photo, go ahead and add the sticker, add. Let's go ahead and enlarge this, just right over the existing one. Looks like it's a little big, so we'll have to make it a little bit smaller. Right about there. That looks pretty good to me. Press the check mark, and there you go. So you got the change of the color background. You got the sticker on where you want it. Now we want to add a little white outline to this. So let's go ahead and go back into draw. And what we'll do, let's go ahead and pick white again. Sorry, it's kind of hard to do this in front of the camera. And we'll go ahead and change it to this solid line right here. That looks about good size. Let's go to set, and then we'll go ahead and outline very carefully around the whole item that we have here in the middle. Now what I usually do is try to zoom in. That way I can make sure I get it just right. So let's go like this, and keep in mind I am doing this behind the camera, so it might not come out too perfect, but this is just to give a small demonstration. You want to keep it zoomed in. That way you make sure you stay at the edges. And if it looks a little like it's not too round or too straight, you won't be able to notice. You can only notice it right now because we are zoomed in. Keep going, keep going. Just finishing up here, and boom, there we go. And as you can see, we got our nice little white outline around our object. So once you do that, go ahead and press the check mark. It looks pretty good to me. Okay, so now that we got that little part done, there's also a bunch of other stuff that you can do within this app. You can mess with the tools. We've already messed with the effects, but there's so many other effects that you can actually do as well. They got magic effects. So you can see here, it changes the whole look of your photo, which is actually pretty cool for certain thumbnails that you can use this for. You got the blur effects, artistic effects, pop art right here. There's a lot that you can choose from. But let's go ahead and keep it the way we have it for now. You can change beauty effects, you can add stickers, We've messed with the cutout already. You can add text on this app, but me personally, I really don't like the text that is available within this app, which is why I use the other app. Sometimes I will use the text within this app, but most of the time you will see me using the Pixel app, which we will get to here in a bit. You can also add other photos within it. So say we want to add another flash in the photo. Let me go ahead and add, and boom, we can add on the side. We can twirl it to sideways like that. Boom, we can add him right there on the side. But let's go ahead and take him out for now. You can change the fit. There's different brushes you can choose from. I mean, you can add certain stuff like this or like this. Some of my thumbnails on this channel, you can actually notice when I'll add stars like around the device like that, just to make it a little bit more pretty. But that is a pretty cool feature that this app has as well. Let me go ahead and discard that. You can add borders actually, and then mask. I like to use this one a lot. You can add effects like this just to kind of make the picture pop a little bit. Now for this flash, I've actually seen one in here that is called speed. I think it's under bokeh. You can see they got a bunch of different ones you can choose from, but here it is, speed. Since the flash is all about speed, let's go ahead and do this. And if you click on it again, you can actually change the hue of it. Change it a different color if you want, but let's go ahead and keep it like that. And then you can change the opacity. You can change it whether you want it on the top, bottom. You can change the sides, directions, but let's go ahead and keep it like that. Let's bring the opacity down just a little bit, and there we go. So let's go ahead and save that. And that seems pretty cool so far. Like I said, I know it's not the best thumbnail, but this is just to kind of show you guys how to do it. Of course, you're going to have your own style of how you want to do it, but this is just to kind of show you how these apps work so you can be able to make your own thumbnails using just your smartphone. Now, you can also draw on it, which I did show you guys. You can add a lens flare. So you can see they got tons to choose from. So say we want to choose this right here. Boom, you can add it wherever you want. You can enlarge it, make it smaller, make it bigger. Add your lens flare. Now that's pretty cool for some photos as well. You want to give that lens flare effect. I do use that on some of my thumbnails. If you go back and look, you'll notice that. You can also add shape mask, frames, and these little call out bubbles. These are pretty cool. Almost like a comic. Look at this. You can type whatever you want in there. So let's say, okay, let me go back. Let's say I want to add, let's go ahead and just add a simple one like this. Tap to type. Let's put, I am the Flash. Boom. Put it wherever you want. So let's go ahead and put it right here. Look at that. I am the Flash. So let's go ahead and save that right there. And then this is pretty much all I want to use this app for right here. We pretty much got just the basics of it. As you can see, there's a lot that you can do and mess with. But this is what I want to keep for now. So let me go ahead and save this in the gallery. Now let's go ahead and go back and go to the next app, Pixel Lab. Now this is where I want to add the text for this specific thumbnail. So if you want to use your own picture, they got a bunch of other little backgrounds that you can choose from. They got a lot down here you can choose from, or you can use your own. You click the three little dots down here, use image from gallery. Here we go. That's the one we're working on. Boom. Now you can change the aspect ratios down there. They got the 16:9, which is already pretty much what we had. Now right here, this is automatically going to pop up once you add your own picture. You can always delete that and then start your own new text, add text, and it's going to pop up here. Then you press edit. Now let's see, what do we want to name this? We'll just put the Flash since we are dealing with the Flash. Now from this point, you can make it bigger, you can make it smaller, you can rotate it. Now what we want to do first is change the color. So let's go ahead and go to color. Let's change it to white. Now what I usually do is I will always add the stroke, enable it, and then I will add a shadow in the back. Now for this one, I want the shadow to be white. So we're going to press white, bringing the blur radius up just a little bit. There we go. And then we can change the fonts as well. So let's go to font. There's actually tons of fonts to choose from. Look at this. Look at all these fonts. It's literally almost seems endless, but there is a lot to choose from. So let's go ahead and use that. That looks pretty cool. The Flash to make it bigger. Add it right up at the top corner like that. And boom. We can go ahead and save this. Save as image, save to gallery. And this is basically how I make my thumbnails using both apps. Now, also in this app, you can add things like arrows. So you can see there. If I wanted to point at the Flash, You can have it pointing at him. You can make it bigger, smaller. See, go ahead and save that. Got my arrow there. You can add shapes, different shapes, which also has arrows in this as well. You just click this little box down here. You got the arrows. You got little bubbles. So if you want to add text in there, hearts, thunderbolts, stuff like that. So this app has pretty cool features as well if you want to take your editing further on your thumbnail. But this is basically how I make my thumbnails using both of these apps right here. And so far it has been working out great for me. Like I said, I know this is not the best thumbnail in the world. Like I said, I am doing this behind a camera, so had a little bit of a hard time, but I did what I can. But you guys let me know your thoughts down below. Let me know what you think and if maybe you will try to do this for yourself if you do have a YouTube channel or are planning on starting a YouTube channel, starting from scratch. Just like I said on my last video, you can basically use your smartphone for everything that you need. Let me know down in the comment sections below if you found this video helpful. Let me know what you think. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to leave a huge thumbs up on this video if you did like it. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell for notifications so you don't miss out on any other future videos to come. But for now, this is Josh Quinones. Thank you all so much for watching. I will see you all in the next one. Peace out.